It is day 1 of flow state. Let's look at complex number 1 to get ourselves warmed up and ready to go for the day. We're gonna be starting from a hike position, and I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, for anything that is a swinging clean or a swinging snatch, I'm going to call it that, a swing clean or swing snatch, versus just clean or snatch, how I would normally refer to it. Mostly because I just want to be really specific with what I'm calling things in these flows, so you have no confusion of starting and stopping points for the bell, all right? Just wanted to be clear about that right from the jump. This first complex is a swing to a swing snatch. So one where you're swinging back and ending overhead. We're then gonna have a switch swing and a swing clean, all right? Swing, snatch, switch, swing, clean, all right? Just to make it simple. Let's start with the right hand on the bell. We're just gonna go 1 round per side. Let's hit it. Swing, snatch, switch, swing, clean. All right, let's do it on the other side. Swing, snatch, switch, swing, clean. All right, park your bell. Let's do it again, 2 rounds through now, and then we'll take a rest. Right hand on. Swing, swing, snatch, switch, swing, swing, clean. Swing, swing, snatch, switch, swing, swing, clean. 1 more round, swing, swing, snatch, switch, swing, swing, clean. Swing, swing, snatch, switch, swing, swing, clean. All right, park your bell. Because this is a more advanced program and because that was one of my traditional complexes, so the more straightforward skills are in that complex, we're just gonna go through it for that 1 set, all right? We're gonna take about a minute rest now, and then we're gonna move on to some bigger brain complexes that might need a couple rounds to let them sink in. So go ahead and take your breather. I'm absolutely gonna take mine. A little water break as well, and a time check. We are good. All of these will be under 30 minutes long. All right. So I'm going to talk to you about complex 2 for a second before we actually do it. It is going to be a lateral squat and a swing snatch, just going back and forth between the 2. Now with that snatch, we're going to have to bring it back down to the rack position before going into the lateral squat. So we'll be starting in the rack position. It's going to be same side held as the working leg for the lateral squat. And then we're going to do our snatch, pull back down to the rack, and repeat. Let's go 3 rounds on the left, 3 rounds on the right, and then we'll take a breather. Right hand on the bell, clean it up to the rack position. And we're gonna go ipsilateral, lateral squat. Swing snatch, pull down to the rack. Lateral squat or lateral lunge, depends on who you're asking. Snatch, pull down to the rack. Lateral squat. Snatch, pull down to the rack. Park your bell in the hike position. Let's repeat it on the right side. Clean it up. Lateral squat. Snatch, back to the rack. Lateral squat. Snatch, back to the rack. 1 more time. All right, after that 3rd round, park your bell. Take a second. We'll do this 1 more time. Again, 3 rounds per side. And then we'll move on to our final complex. I'm gonna angle myself a little bit this time for 2 reasons. 1, so you can see how deep I'm going in the lateral squat or lunge, and also so that I don't run into that big, beautiful vase of flowers. My legs are longer than they seem. All right, let's do it. I'm gonna start on the left side again. Clean the bell up to the rack position. Here we go, lateral squat. Snatch, pull down to the rack. 2 more times. I'm using this other arm as a counterbalance, so when I go into my lateral lunge, I can stay kind of upright. After your third round, park it, and let's do the other side, clean it up. Here we go, lateral lunge, snatch, rack, lunge, snatch, rack. One more time. All right, take another breather. We got one complex left, and it is on the longer side. Actually lied, it's kind of, well, it is one complex left and then a single skill at the end. I'll break it up into 4 complexes in the actual program, but that last one is just a single skill. All right, so moving along. Complex number 3, we have an iron cross, so that is starting from the overhead position. We're gonna go into an outside pendulum, so that means outside arm, sweeping down and across, so we've got a hip hinge here, and then we're coming into an outside clean. We're then going to press it overhead and repeat it. Iron cross, outside pendulum, outside clean. What I want you to think of for the pendulum is keeping your knees back, really sending your chest over and getting into a very deep hip hinge. So I'm here with the bell, so it's not hitting my knees. And then for the clean, using rotation to pull me in to the rack position, not letting the bell go out very far at all, okay? So I'm really just rotating through my core and then pulling that arm in tight to pop it up into the rack position. Let's go ahead and do it together. Let's start with the left hand on the bell again. So we'll clean it up to the rack position, press it overhead, spin your palm away from you and depress your shoulder blade. Iron cross, so we're resisting until parallel. Sweep across for outside pendulum, outside clean, and then press it overhead as you face forward. Spin your hand away, iron cross, use your core. Outside pendulum, outside clean. One more time. Spin that hand away. Long neck, so depress the shoulder blade. That's gonna get your lat involved. Outside pendulum, outside clean. All right, face the front. Park your bell, and let's do it on the other side. Clean it up, press overhead. Spin your palm away. Good posture here. Use your core. Outside pendulum, outside clean. Press it overhead. Iron cross. Outside pendulum, outside clean. Watch out for those knees. Don't get squatty. You should be over the bell with your chest. Sending those hips and knees back. All right, when you're done your third one, park your bell, take a quick breather. We are gonna do it one more time just to make sure that we've got it. And then we'll move on to that final skill, which does deserve some time on its own. It's one of my favorites. Should I spoil it for you? It's the bent press. If you have been a part of Kettleclub for a while, you know it is near and dear to my heart. That and the windmill are always fighting for first place. They're basically the same movement. All right, let's do it. Back to the left hand, shall we? Clean it up. Press it overhead, spin that palm away, depress the shoulder. Iron cross, outside pendulum, outside clean. Press it overhead, spin the palm away, iron cross, outside pendulum, outside clean. One more time, iron cross, outside pendulum, outside clean. Park your bell, other side. Press it overhead, spin it away, iron cross, outside pendulum, outside clean. Iron cross, outside pendulum, outside clean. One more time, iron cross, outside pendulum, outside clean. All right, park your bell. So that final skill, the bent press, we are gonna visit in a second. We're just gonna do one round of it, but we're gonna do 5 reps per side just to make sure that our torso is nice and stretched out It definitely will get into the lower back if you're not warm. And we're gonna talk about a couple different ways that you can approach your bent press so you can find one that works for you for the remainder of this program and all of your programs going forward in Kettleclub and your own workouts on your own. So I personally like a more squatty bent press. However, I used to do a very hip hingey bent press, so I'm decent at demoing both. So I'm gonna show you both right now, and then you can kind of decide which one makes sense for you. And I'll talk about why you would do one or the other. So the setup is going to be feet about shoulder width apart. We're gonna bring our elbow over our back pocket. All right, and I've got a nice open chest at this point. You'll see that wrist and elbow are stacked over each other. That will remain true the entire time. Otherwise, the bell will end up falling on you, on your head or behind you, and we don't want any of that. So think of joint stacking equals stronger. Okay, so we've got these two stacked, that's great. We want it to be 3. We're gonna end up upside down so that our wrist, elbow, and shoulder are all stacked in a straight line. And I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do that. So you're gonna initiate it by opening your elbow and bending your back knee, and you're hinging over until it feels like you've reached your max stretch in this back leg's hamstring. At that point, you can start bending that knee and continue pressing overhead until you lock out. And then you'll just stand up. Now, if you're Gumby and you have very flexible hamstrings, you could actually go like this, where you never bend your back leg at all. And honestly, some of the strongest bent pressers do it that way. So if you are capable of that, by all means, do it. It's fewer moving parts, so it's easier to get really good at it. Doing the squattier bent press does have more variables involved. Like at this point, now I'm starting to bend this knee, and so it's just a lot to keep up with. But I will say, this is more approachable for most people. So I would say, look out for how your back feels, okay? It might not be showing in the hamstring, but you might start feeling some tightness in your QL, this big meaty part of the lower back. If it's starting to feel really tight, it's probably a signal that you need to bend that back knee just a little bit more. Just always think proud chest, always think of turning your pelvis up, and you should be good. If you're rounding, that's where it can get a little hairy. Let's go ahead and do 5 reps per side, and then we'll move on to the flow. Let me check my timer. We're good. Fantastic. I think I mentioned this at the beginning of the workout, but all of these are gonna be 30 minutes or less. I just wanna make sure that I'm staying on my time. Here we go. Clean the bell up, rotate back, and let's hit our bent press. 5 reps. Eyes are always on the bell. Rotate back, hinge underneath. I'm stacking my wrist and elbow the whole time, and then eventually also my shoulder. And then it's really driving that back leg into an extended position to stand you up. Here I go, driving that back leg to stand me up. Okay? I think I've got 2 more. So. All right, after your 5th one, let's do it on the other side. I will turn to the side for this one, show you a different angle here. Rotate, bend, open the elbow, wrist and elbow are stacked, get underneath it. So. And if you want more tutorial videos on the bent press, that's probably the skill that I've covered the most in long form tutorial videos on YouTube. So just give it a search. You're probably gonna find at least 1 or 2 by me where I'm going a little bit more in depth on the mechanics of it. I think I've got 1 left. Hard to say. All right, y'all. That is it for your bent press. Let's move along to the flow. Very exciting. So we're gonna have complexes 1, 2, 3, and that bent press to equal our flow. I'm gonna say it really quick, honestly, for my brain's sake, but you kind of follow along if you wanna do, it ends up looking like an interpretive dance, but if you wanna kind of like swing, snatch, switch, swing with me, that's what I'll be doing too. So complex 1 is, with the right hand, swing, swing, snatch, switch, swing, swing, clean. So we're now in the left hand. We're then gonna hit our lateral squat, same side as the bell, and then snatch. We're gonna keep it overhead this time. Spin your palm away. We're in complex 3, iron cross, outside pendulum, outside clean. You know what's cool? We are perfectly set up for the bent press at this point because we're facing the outside position. So the outside arm is the one that's behind you. This would be inside arm, just so you know. We're gonna be talking outside and inside a lot in our flows. But this outside rack position is exactly our elbow over our back pocket for our bent press. So we'll hit that, and then we're already in the correct hand to do it on the other side. So let's go ahead through it one time, nice and slow, pausing wherever we can at any checkpoint where we're at overhead or in a rack position. We'll start with the right hand, swing, swing, snatch, switch, swing, swing, clean. On to complex 2, lateral squat, swing, snatch. Keep it overhead, spin the palm away, iron cross, outside pendulum, outside clean, and we're set up for our bent press. From the overhead, we're just gonna drop and go straight into that left side swing. Swing, snatch, switch, swing, swing, clean. Lateral squat, swing, snatch, keep it overhead, iron cross, outside pendulum, outside clean, and bent press. Drop and park your bell. All right, that is our flow. Take about 30 seconds here. All of our working rounds are gonna be 2 rounds per side. We've got 4 sets total, and that'll be it. All right, take a little water break. I'm taking a time check. We are doing well, y'all. We're right at 20 minutes in. We'll be done in about 8 minutes, all right? Okay. So 2 rounds equals 1 set. We're always gonna start with the right hand. I don't wanna throw you any curveballs at this point. The flow itself is a curveball. And we're just gonna kind of slowly but surely make it smoother, and the actual working time will get shorter because of that. We're gonna round out the edges, as I typically say, as we kind of lean into that flow state a little bit more. It's like when they say the name of the movie in the movie. All right, we got 2 rounds through. Right hand on the bell. Swing, swing, snatch, switch, swing, swing, clean. Complex 2, lateral squat, swing, snatch, iron cross, outside pendulum, outside clean, bent press. Drop, swing, swing, snatch, switch, swing, swing, clean. Complex 2, lateral squat, swing, snatch. Complex 3, iron cross, outside pendulum, outside clean, bent press. 1 more round, swing, swing, snatch, switch, swing, swing, clean. Lateral squat, swing, snatch. Iron cross, outside pendulum, outside clean, bent press. Drop, final side, swing, swing, snatch, switch, swing, swing, clean. Lateral squat, swing, snatch. Iron cross, outside pendulum, outside clean, bent press. And park your bell. All right, 1 minute off, and then we're gonna do it again. Doing fantastic. All right. Woo. They add up. I am using an 8-kilo bell. I could admittedly do it with a 10 or a 12 if I didn't have to talk the whole time. So for your own workout, if you're not mic'd up like I am and filming for all of YouTube and wherever else this is gonna end up, feel free to push yourself, all right? Let's do it. Back in. Round 2, right hand on the bell. Swing, swing, snatch. Switch, swing, swing, clean. Lateral squat, swing, snatch, iron cross. Outside pendulum, outside clean, bent press. Drop, swing, swing, snatch. Switch, swing, swing, clean. Lateral squat, swing, snatch, iron cross. Outside pendulum, outside clean, bent press. One more round, swing, swing, snatch. Switch, swing, swing, clean. Lateral squat, swing, snatch. Iron cross, outside pendulum, outside clean, bent press. Last side, swing, swing, snatch. Switch, swing, swing, clean. Lateral squat, swing, snatch. Iron cross, outside pendulum, outside clean, bent press. Park your bell. Whew. Minute off, 2 more sets. And we're doing very well on time. I hope you guys are enjoying this so far. Flows are near and dear to my heart. They are a big reason that I fell in love with exercise. I'll make this quick, but I started in the bodybuilding world in 2012, found my way into Olympic weightlifting in 2016, absolutely fell in love with it. I mean, adored it. But I had a labral tear in my hip and it was really inflaming it because that's all I was doing. 2018-ish rolled around, maybe 19, and I started working with kettlebells and animal flow a lot more, and everything got better. I mean, the mobility of my hip, the guarding and the muscles around it vanished. I just felt 10 times better and way more athletic. And it was during COVID that flows clicked with me. It was the closest I ever felt to a flow state that I would feel when playing music. That's a story for another day, but I'm a musician, and that is really what I am, and like, honestly, the reason that I love doing all of this is because it just really connects with my musical creative side. But yeah, I just like completely fell in love with it, and Kettleclub sprouted in 2021 because of that. So thank you for being here, because it would be nothing without the people that follow it. So it's really cool getting to share it with y'all. Let's go into round 3, shall we? Again, 2 rounds per side, right hand on the bell. Swing, swing, snatch. Let's really round it out this time. Make it flowy, switch, swing, swing clean, lateral squat, swing, snatch. Iron cross, outside pendulum, outside clean, immediately into that bent press. Drop, swing, swing, snatch, switch, swing, swing clean, drop into that lateral squat, swing, snatch, iron cross, outside pendulum, outside clean, bent press. 1 more round per side, swing, swing, snatch, switch, swing, swing clean, lateral squat, swing snatch, iron cross, outside pendulum, outside clean, bent press, final side swing, swing snatch, switch swing, swing clean, lateral squat, swing snatch, iron cross, outside pendulum, outside clean, final bent press, and park your bell. All right, final rest, final rounds coming up, and we'll be done. Whew. It's about, say, a little over a minute, maybe 90 seconds at the most for this flow, but with a little bit heavier bell, it definitely adds up, for sure, let alone like practicing all of the complexes for multiple sets. All right, y'all, let's go off of our adrenaline here. Let's use it as a vehicle for getting us through this final set. No need for any more rest. Let's get into it. Right hand on the bell. Swing, swing snatch, switch swing, swing clean, drop into your lateral squat, swing snatch, iron cross, outside pendulum, outside clean, bent press, swing, swing snatch, switch swing, swing clean, lateral squat, swing snatch, iron cross, outside pendulum, outside clean, bent press. One more round per side, swing, swing snatch. Make it your best, switch swing, swing clean, deep lateral squat, swing snatch, iron cross, outside pendulum, outside clean, bent press. Drop, final side, swing, swing snatch, switch swing, swing clean, lateral squat, snatch, iron cross, outside pendulum, outside clean, savor this bent press. Park your bell. And y'all, that is it. Thank you so much for joining me. There are 19 more of these coming at y'all over the next 19 days, so stay tuned, and I'll see y'all again soon.